I mean, given the usual progression of the illness, what would you be looking for in the next few days?
Yeah, like was mentioned, this is actually usually the slow buildup. So we don't expect much in the first week. And often we'll see patients early in the course of their disease and we'll say, we're sending you home, not because we're saying you're out of the woods, but because there's nothing to do for you right now because you have mild symptoms of a cold or kind of a flu. And then we give everybody a warning that 7 to 10 days into the disease, they could take an abrupt turn for the worse, and to be, to be very cautious about that, and to return to the
Mm,
hospital if things should get severe. And we, of course, saw that in the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson
yeah.
became precipitously ill about 9 days into the disease, which was kind of classic for COVID.
Yeah, and it can hit hard later on. I mean, one other thing I wanted to ask, we know from others, and you mentioned cardiogram and other tests that he's been given, from others who've recovered from initial infection, there can be lasting impacts, lung scarring, neurological issues and so on. Could those things be a risk for the president?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, if he goes on to having severe coronavirus disease, that can affect every organ in your body. And those patients who go on and are very sick and are in the hospital for a prolonged period of time or require ICU care, I mean, their illness course can go on for many, many weeks, even months. I mean, we're still learning about patients who many, many months after their disease are still not recovered. But even patients with milder disease, this is not just like the flu. The friends I've had who've had it, even though they stayed home and didn't have to go in the hospital, it really knocked them down to the ground, and they really describe this bone-breaking fatigue. I've heard it compared to other diseases, to dengue and to even Ebola, and people have said it knocked me down like no other disease has had,
Yeah,
and there was a long recovery, even for people who weren't critically ill. So
yeah.
I'm anticipating his course will go well into into the next month.